Hi everyone, welcome to my stop on the Whimsy Stamps Slimline video hop. Whimsy Stamps is the innovator of slimline dies, having been the first company to manufacture and introduce dies designed to help you create those fun slimline cards. To celebrate their achievements, Whimsy Stamps is having an Instagram hop and a video hop with a fun giveaway. I will mention a little bit more about that in just a little bit, but for now we're going to get into my card. For today's card, I'm going to be using a newly released Sugar Skull Cuties clear stamp set. Now this stamp set does also have a coordinating die, which I will be using in today's card. And the slimline that I chose for this card is the Slimline Marquee Die. I'm going to start off my card by ink blending a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I wanted the panel to be slightly larger than what my die cut is. So this die cuts out at 8 by 3, and so my background panel measures 8.5 by 3.5. This gives me a slight border all the way around. I really wanted this bold colors for my background, and I'm using Distress inks to ink up my panel. I've started with Carved Pumpkin for the bottom, or what would be the bottom of my panel. I used a relatively heavy hand to apply that ink using a foam ink tool, and once I have a pretty good base of that orange added, I'm coming in with Picked Raspberry. And you'll see I go back and forth between the blender brush and the foam tool. I just couldn't decide which one worked better, but I think in the end the foam tool won. So it's a lot of going back and forth using one color to transition into the other, and then coming back with the second color from the other side and blending out any harsh lines. And then here I'm adding a little more of the Picked Raspberry just to really saturate that paper and blend out anything that may have been left behind by adding the Carved Pumpkin. So once I have that part of the panel blended, I'm going to come in with my third and final color of Seedless Preserve. And I'm still trying to use my blender brush to add the ink on, but at least for the Distress ink, I felt like the foam tool did a little bit of a better job. I'll finish adding in the Seedless Preserve, and then I can come in and sort of start blending out that space I left in between the Picked Raspberry and the Seedless Preserve. I think here I'm adding in the Picked Raspberry, just going over that space. And then I'll go ahead and add a little more of the Seedless Preserve to blend that out. So here I'm just kind of testing out what this panel looks like. And I decide I want to add a little more orange. So I go ahead and do that, and oops. I've added a little too much orange, and I've lost all of my pink color. So at this point I'm committed. I have to go all the way across the panel, and then I'm going to have to add a little more pink to get my pink back. And just for good measure, I'm going to add a little more purple to the top, because I was pretty set on having the purple transition into the pink, which transition into the orange for this background. So in the end, I've added, I guess, a double layer of the ink blend to get the blend I have. Off screen, I do add some splatters using diluted black acrylic paint and white acrylic paint by flicking the paint with a paintbrush. To finish out the background, I die cut a piece of black cardstock using the Marquee Slimline Die. And I thought I would just dress up the background a little bit using this glitter dust in silver color. I do take the panel outside just to give it a quick spray, and then it dries within minutes and it's ready to go. So for my main images today, I'm going to be using the Sugar Skull Cuties that was just released, and I also have the die. I've stamped my images onto solar white cardstock using Memento Tuxedo ink, and then I've got my Copic markers to color in the images. So while I color these images in, I'll talk about the giveaway. Like I mentioned in the introduction, Whimsy Stamps is the innovator of slimline dies, and they were also the first to manufacture and introduce slimline dies into the crafting world. So to celebrate this achievement, we are having a video hop with one lucky commentator winning a $25 gift certificate to their store. The winner will be chosen from all of the comments left from all of the participants in this video hop, and it will be announced on the Whimsy Stamps channel on September 2nd. So be sure to come back to the Whimsy Stamps channel on September 2nd to see if you won. And I will also have a link to their channel down below. There is also a separate Instagram hop beginning on the Whimsy Stamps Instagram page. I have that link down below. So I encourage you to head on over to the Instagram page after you finish the video hop and see all of the amazing projects that the design team has created. Again, I will have all of that information linked down in the description area. So be sure to click that see more button to see all of that information regarding how to enter and all of the participants of this hop. So I've talked through all of the coloring, or some of the coloring, but I will have a link to my blog post with some close-up pictures and the color combination in case you're interested in that. I kept the coloring simple, just kind of using 2 or 3 blends on most of the images, and I try to pick colors that complemented the background, but still kept in that same spirit of Dia De Muertos. Yes, I practiced saying that, and no, I still couldn't, so we're just gonna call it the Day of the Dead. Anyway, I finished coloring the images and I used the coordinating dies to die cut them out. And here is kind of the arrangement of my card. I have the 2 ladies on either side of the card with those beautiful flowers in the center. And I'm just going to try to add in my sentiment. I kind of have it on an angle to fit inside that opening. And at this point, I'm definitely going to use the Misty, so I don't accidentally mess anything up. I'll go ahead and remove my images and my die cut, and then I'm going to treat my panel with some anti-static powder. I already have my stamp positioned on the Misty door, and then I'm going to use VersaFine Onyx Black ink to stamp that down. And finally, I'll add some clear embossing powder to heat set that in place. I have all of the elements of my card ready, and I can start adhering things down. I have that frame popped up on some foam adhesive, and I'm just going to center that right over my panel and kind of try to get it as center as I possibly can, and then press that in place. I also have my images that I've popped up on some foam tape, and I'm adding those in place with a little bit of adhesive as well. I just add a few clear drops using some liquid adhesive to finish off this card. So be sure to check out the description box below to see the next participant on the hop and head on over to their channel. Don't forget to comment to be entered into this video hop drawing, and then also head on over to the Whimsy Stamps Instagram to start the Instagram Slimline hop. I do have all of that information regarding the giveaway and how to enter, as well as the link to my blog where you can see some close-up pictures and color combinations that I've used. It's all linked down below. If you have enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you another time.